An elementary school classroom in a slum is a poem written by an English poet and essayist Stephen Spender. It talks about the depleted and degraded condition of slums. The people living there undergo a lot of challenges in acquiring simple daily life necessities like food, clothes, and education. The children, who are generally considered to be the future of a community, do not get proper attention and care in slums. They are devoid of proper education, food, healthcare facilities, etc. Spender points out the tragedy in detail through his description of an elementary school classroom and the condition of the students in it. He explains that donations made to the school are not enough to create a bright future for the children, since the only world they have access to is the poor, unfortunate slum around them. In first stanza, the poet describes the appearance of the student in elementary school classroom in a slum. He calls their faces far away from gusty waves. Unlike the powerful wave on a beach, these children are weak, timid, and do not have confidence in themselves. The poet is using this analogy to show the difference between children brought up in well-to-do family and children brought up in slums. Their place of origin defines their fate. Their hair is devoid of nutrition like rootless weed and scattered around their pale faces. There is a tall girl with her head bent down. These show the effect of malnutrition and family woes due to poverty, and she is not learning much as she is immersed in worry and anxiety. A boy sitting in a classroom is so thin that he has no substantial body weight. His eyes look like those of a rat, steadily and hungry. This is an indication of dire economic condition in the slum. Another student who is reading a poem has stunted growth, and the only thing that he could get as an inheritance was his father's gnarled disease. A student sitting in the farthest corner is absorbed in a daydream of squirrels playing on trees. His mind is not in the classroom but in a world full of trees where squirrels are playing. Next stanza, the poet gives a description of a classroom in which the students are sitting, and it has walls that are sour cream in color due to the lack of renovation and constant exposure to dirt. The color of the wall has faded. Receipts of donation can be seen on the walls clearly. The school does not have strong financial support and run on the money donated to them as charity. And there are pictures of Shakespeare and Trellis's Valley. The poet recounts that these pictures add no values to the children's education. The bald hair of Shakespeare looks like a dome that represents civilization, and the poet uses the words riding all cities to signify the hold of colonization over centuries या over countries that leads to exploitation. And the whole reference to Shakespeare is also indicative of British colonialism. And the Trellis Valley represents a place the children dream of seeing. The poet reveals another ironic stains where there is a map of the world on a wall, but for these slum children, the only world they have access to is the world outside their window, the slum. They have no future, and their world resembles a narrow street that is sealed with a lead sky. The pollution and uncertainty of life in slum have reduced the concept of a blue and open sky to a suffocating peril that looms over them. Their world is far from river and capes, and the slum children remain unknown to the name of star and constellations. In next stanza, poet says that Shakespeare represent inequality, since civilization is a far-fetched concept for the slum children, and they just feel small and insignificant compared to the sophisticated world of civilization. The map, with all its symbol of the sun and ships, just reminds them how far and inaccessible these are, since